out on another road trip, this time to the south. We will be traveling from Raipur to Visakhapatnam via Kanker, Kondagaon, Jagdalpur, Koraput and Salur. We started early in the morning at 6 am from Raipur. The first part of our journey is along the NH30 from Raipur to Dhamtari. From Raipur to Dhamtari, the road is smooth, 4-lane highway bypassing all the major towns on the way. This road had been under construction since a long time, and finally in the past 1 year this stretch is complete without any diversion whatsoever. It is early in the morning and we are probably the only travelers on the road except for some trucks and local villagers. The total distance we need to travel today is around 550 kilometers, which we expect to cover in around 10 to 11 hours. The Raipur-Visakhapatnam Economic Corridor is currently under construction, which will reduce the travelling distance to around 450 kilometers in around 5 to 6 hours. We are now crossing the first toll of our journey at Maraud, a village before Kurud and Dhamtari. From here, we will now cruise comfortably till Dhamtari, a prominent town in Chhattisgarh. The road is smooth with a speed limit of 80 km per hour, but we have to drive very carefully because this road is open for villagers, local bikers and cattle to cross freely. We are now approaching Dhamtari town. The time is 7 am. The road to the left enters Dhamtari town, while we shall be continuing straight along the highway towards Kanker and Jagdalpur. We are now on the Dhamtari bypass. This stretch of the highway is newly constructed that bypasses the congested Dhamtari town and connects directly with the Jagdalpur road. This road will go straight towards Jagdalpur via Kanker and Kondagaon. From here, Kanker is 58 kilometers, Kondagaon is 143 kilometers and Jagdalpur is 216 kilometers. This is our second toll of the day at a place called Jagdalpur. It's 7:45 am and we will take our first break to get fresh and visit the restroom. NHAI has done a good job in making restrooms mandatory in fuel stations as a part of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. After getting some fresh air and stretching a bit, we are back on the road again. On the way, we had our first glimpse of the hillocks. The beautiful surroundings compelled us to stop once again. We are now somewhere before Keshkal. This region has many small hills and rock formation, making this topography interesting. This region is home to many breathtaking waterfalls, especially the Keshkal region, including Kuemari Falls, Honhed Falls, Ghumar Falls, Limdhara Falls and Muttekara Falls, to name a few. The road to these falls are completely off-roads with difficult access, making the trips super adventurous. It's time to hit the road again. It's just early morning and the sun is already scorching.
रोद लग जा
That's my daughter having a peaceful nap in the back. She is essentially a sleeper class passenger. So far we have covered 122 kilometers in just over 2 hours with an average of over 18 kilometers per liter. We still have 446 kilometers to reach Vizag and the estimated time is around 10 hours. The hills in the horizon are making the landscape beautiful. It's 8:20 am and we finally found a small eatery. We will now have our tea break. This place is somewhere near Kanker. From here, the Keshkal Ghati is very close. The masala chai rejuvenated us fully and we shall soon resume our journey. Those hills we are seeing in the distance are a part of the Keshkal Ghat section. It's around 9 am and we have started our ascent on the infamous Keshkal Ghats. Keshkal Ghat section over the years have worsened to such extent that even the most difficult roads around the world will shy away from this. Broken, dusty roads will be too mild description for what Keshkal is at the moment. Dangerous roads coupled with heavy trucks and trailers make this stretch prone to fatal accidents and heavy congestion. This ghat section is no less than difficult off-road terrains we saw in Ladakh. In no time, our clean car became dusty and dirty. While we are having a topsy-turvy ride here, I am pretty sure our Meridian is once again having a gala time with all the off-roading maneuvers here. Because of the congestion in the Keshkal ghats, there is a heavy traffic jam in Keshkal town. We instantly decided that we will take a different route while on our return journey. Finally, after crossing Keshkal, we are on an open road with smooth tarmac. We are now crossing some town on the way. We are yet to reach Kondagaon. This is our third toll at a place called Mashora. My daughter just got up from her nap and we will take a short break here. We are now somewhere before Kondagaon. These tall trees are giving us nice shades. Under these cool shades, our sleeper class passenger is having her breakfast. Now you understand how important it is to save trees. After a short break, we are back on the road once again. It's 11:50 am and we are entering Jagdalpur town. Jagdalpur is home to the famous Chitrakoot and Tiradgar falls. The last time I visited these falls, I hadn't started our travelogue on YouTube. Maybe on our next visit, I will be able to share my experience here. As of now, we are heading straight towards the Odisha border. It's 12:10 pm and we are crossing the Chhattisgarh-Odisha state border at a place called Dhanpunji and finally entering Odisha. At around 12:15 pm, we suddenly saw this restaurant on the way and we stopped for an early lunch break. This place looked interesting. The restaurant looked cozy from the outside. The initial impression was good. The host was also well behaved and friendly. We stepped inside and ordered some light food for lunch. However, the inside was not comfortable at all. There was no air conditioning and there were frequent power cuts. The food was also very spicy for our taste. After somehow finishing our lunch, we hit the road again. It was already 1:10 pm. It's 1:20 pm and we have reached Kotapad. Kotapad is the first major town we are passing through after entering Odisha. The town is pretty congested with long traffic and large trucks entering such narrow roads. We were in an almost standstill traffic for more than 15 minutes. Finally, we have an open road ahead, although it's narrow and we can't drive fast enough. This road leads to Borigumma, Jaipur and Koraput. The road is scenic with smooth tarmac. We can once again see small hills in the distance. It's 2 pm now and we have reached Borigumma. Koraput is 44 kilometers from here. The main highway goes to the right towards Jaipur and Koraput via NH26. But we will take the road to the left. The road goes towards Koraput via Ranigada and joins with NH26. Ranigada is known for its beautiful water reservoir, dam, lakes and waterfalls. Also, this road is too scenic. have just reached Ranigada. In the distance, we can see the Telengiri Dam. The road doesn't seem to be in a good condition with too many potholes and broken patches. We will stop for some time and enjoy the view of the Ranigada lake. We will pass through these hills in some time. This is the Telengiri water reservoir, surrounded by small hills all around. The view is simply spectacular. That's the Ranigada hill in the middle of the reservoir. As we started our journey, we are now facing horrible roads. These are not potholes or broken roads. These are like craters. It looks like the road has simply caved in at places. I would not recommend anyone to go on this route unless you want to see the Ranigada lake. The NH26 from Borigumma towards Jaipur is a far better alternative than this. We are not able to gain speed as the road is completely broken. Low ground clearance cars might even scrape their underbellies if they are not driven carefully. It's 3 pm and we have reached Koraput. We are now back on NH26. Koraput is a nice weekend destination with serene water bodies, waterfalls, hills and beautiful homestays. On both sides of the road, we can see these beautiful lakes all around while driving through Koraput. We will soon plan a weekend trip to Koraput and share our experience with you guys. It's 3:20 pm and we have reached Sunabeda. Sunabeda is an industrial town with the Hindustan Aeronautics factory located here. The next town we are now crossing is Semeliguda. After we crossed Semeliguda, we got a glimpse of the much anticipated Raipur-Visakhapatnam economic corridor, which is under construction here. From here onwards, we will be crossing our paths with this under construction expressway at many places. Once this expressway is opened, traveling from Raipur to Vizag will be like a breeze. Once again, we are running parallel to the expressway. We are now gradually gaining altitude to cross the Sunki Ghati, after which we will enter Andhra Pradesh. As we reached the top of the Ghat section, the weather changed drastically and it started to drizzle. It became cloudy. The weather is a perfect match for the kind of road we are traveling on right now. It's 4:30 pm and we have reached Sunki. We were stopped at the checkpost near the Sunki police station. The officers checked our boot and asked us about the details of our journey before we proceeded to enter Andhra. We are now crossing the Sunki Ghati. In no time, the light drizzling changed to torrential rain on these hilly roads, and we are now sensing adventure. It's 4:50 pm and we have finally entered Andhra Pradesh. It's still raining out here. We have crossed the hilly roads and are now climbing down the foothills. We are now approaching Salur, the first major town as we enter Andhra Pradesh. Just before entering Salur bypass, we were stopped by local goons for extorting money in the name of festival and Lakshmi Puja. As I refused to give money, one of them blocked my way and the other kept on pressing me for money. This is a difficult situation, especially when you are traveling with your family, your wife and kid. A situation I faced literally after many years of traveling. After a bit of arguing, I had to give them some cash before they let us go. We are taking our turn towards Salur bypass, which would take us towards Vizianagaram. As soon as we were on the Salur bypass, we were greeted by kashful or wild sugarcane plantations on both sides of the road. Kashful might signify autumn for most, but for Bengalis it signifies the most important festival, the Durga Puja. This day is indeed Mahasaptami, the second day of the grand festival. We Bengalis eagerly wait for this time of the year to welcome Ma Durga, the destroyer of evil. We are now crossing a town called Ramabhadrapuram. We are still left with 96 kilometers to reach our resort. It's 5:30 pm. We have been traveling for a little less than 12 hours and we will now take a short tea break. This is a small eatery on the NH26. The lady who runs the eatery was very cordial and the masala chai was perfect here. While our tea was getting served, we took our time to click this kashful that were giving us goosebumps. It's already dark now and we are on the final stretch of our journey. As usual, the Jeep Performance LED headlamps have lit up. These headlamp clusters are simply amazing. They inspire so much confidence while traveling at night. This route, however, is very congested with local commuters, trucks and buses. It's 6:30 pm and we are finally on the Vizianagaram bypass. After a long time today, we are again back on a well-paved 4-lane national highway. We are now taking exit from the Vizianagaram bypass and continuing on NH26. This is our final toll plaza before we reach Vizag. We can finally see the Chennai Kolkata National Highway or the NH16. From here, we will join with this highway towards Visakhapatnam. We are finally on NH16. This highway connects Chennai with Kolkata via Nellore, Guntur, Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam, Srikakulam, Bhubaneswar, Cuttack and Kharagpur. We are now taking exit from the NH16 towards Visakhapatnam. It's 7:30 pm now and we are on the Dr. NTR Beach Road, the iconic coastal road of Visakhapatnam. The road is beautiful with nice decorations with light. The Bay of Bengal is to our left. We have finally reached our resort. Today we covered almost 550 kilometers in just less than 12 hours driving time. Our total travel time was 13.5 hours.